A 162-game schedule, roller coaster of a postseason, and all of it led up to this. Game 1 of the World Series between the Dodgers and Blue Jays. Blake Snell gets a start for LA, calling this the most important start of his career. Big statement from a guy who's been there and done that in the big leagues. On the other side, Trey Yesavage, the rookie, gets the ball for a Blue Jays organization, making its first World Series appearance since the early 90s. Now, let's take a look at the matchup between the rookie and the vet. In the postseason, both have 3 decisions. Snell 3-0, Yesavage 2-1. The ERA, innings pitched, earned runs, hits, strikes to ball ratio, tilting in favor of the 2-time Cy Young Award winner. He's got it all but a World Series ring. Meanwhile, Yesavage, on the other hand, stepping into a new world with tonight's 8 o'clock first pitch.
Pretty much called me into his office, said they have faith in me to run me out there in the first game, and I was fired up. Got up, hugged him, hugged Pete. I was very excited.
Are your parents and your brother, I think he's in college, I think you said before, are they going to make it up for game 1?
Yeah. Parents and brothers are driving up tomorrow from Pennsylvania, so they'll be here.
Awesome.
Third row on your left, Trey.
Hey, Trey, another high-pressure start for you, so I was just curious. Are you just naturally good under pressure, or is this a skill you learned along the way and really drilled down on?
I mean, I've been able to go through this and handle it as diligently as possible, with this being my rookie season and having these high-pressure games. I try to treat it as if it's not as high pressure as it is mentally, but I know it's there.
All right, joining us now, someone who's also very good under pressure, Jim Bowden. I can't imagine Trey Yesavage slept much last night, Jim. How did you sleep on the eve of Game 1 of the World Series?
Well, I slept great because I'm not actually being on site until the middle of 3 games in Los Angeles, so I slept fine. But for Trey Yesavage, I mean, this rookie only made 3 regular season starts. He was drafted in 2024. He's actually made as many postseason starts, 3, as he has regular season. You know, and he's very interesting because he's got such a high release arm angle coming down. It creates a tremendous downward plane. So he'll sit there 95, 97. He's got a wipeout slider. He's got an incredible split finger as well. But this Dodger lineup doesn't chase. And when you watched Yesavage in the previous series against Seattle, they were chasing a lot of the splitters that were out of the strike zone. I don't think you'll be seeing the Dodgers do the same thing. But Yesavage does have an advantage of the fact that none of the Dodger hitters have ever faced him at any level, at any place. So they'll be seeing him for the first time. And as I said, it's a very unique way that he releases the ball, brings back memories of Diego Segui back in the 70s.
Jim, let's get to your tale of the tape on this one. You've kind of broken down this matchup. Who has the edge in the series from category to category? So we're going to pull it up here. I want you to walk us through your logic here in terms of why you think the Dodgers or the Blue Jays have the edge in certain, whether it's offense, power, defense, starting pitching, bullpen, or managers. Lead us off.
Let's start with the Dodgers. Look, they have a more explosive offense. They outscored the Blue Jays in the regular season, 825 to 788. You've got the 3 Hall of Famers at the top of that lineup with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman. You got the power of Teoscar Hernandez, Will Smith, Max Muncy after that. Their number 9 hitter has over 20 homers and 20 steals, and Andy Pages. It's just deeper. Blue Jays have contact. They don't strike out. That's an advantage. Dodgers more powerful in the power. You talk about home runs. Dodgers 244 to 191 in the regular season. And as I said, everyone in the Dodger lineup can go yard. From a defensive perspective, the Blue Jays are the best defensive team in baseball, period. Their outfield's incredible with the range that they have. And they have a plus defender at every single position. The Dodgers can't say that. They have a below-average defender in right field in Teoscar Hernandez, and at times a below-average defender at third base in Max Muncy. When you get to starting pitching, this isn't even a conversation. The Dodgers are going to run out 4 number 1 starters, starting in Game 1, Blake Snell, then followed by Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, and Shohei Ohtani. When you go to the bullpen, Blue Jays clear advantage here, and the Dodgers are going to be without Alex Vesia, who has a personal family matter. That's a huge loss for them. How the Dodgers piece together innings 6, 7, 8 is going to be interesting if the starter doesn't go deep enough. but that's something to watch going forward.
Yeah, Tully, our producer, and I were joking before the show started. We should just get one inning, though, of Kershaw and Scherzer and just get it out of the way, let them go head-to-head one time. So we know the starting pitching is going to be a big storyline throughout. Every night it'll be a question who's on the hill against the Dodgers lineup. But why should we be paying attention to the catchers in this series, Will Smith and Alejandro Kirk, in terms of them being potential X factors here?
Yeah, great question, because I think both of these guys are going to be huge in this series. Look, we all are going to point to Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Vladimir Guerrero, and George Springer, and the biggest names in this series. We understand that. Catchers have so much to do with who wins or loses, right? Carrying out the game plan, putting down the right fingers, framing pitches. We're going to have some close games. When you have an elite defense that Toronto has and a strong bullpen, they're going to be relatively probably low-scoring games, 3-2, 4-3, 5-4, things like that. Catchers make a big difference from a defensive side. Then from an offensive side, they're both extremely underrated. Alejandro Kirk had a huge year behind the plate. In fact, he was the best offensive catcher in the American League. Will Smith was the best offensive catcher in the National League. Will Smith gets huge RBI hits to right center field in big situations. I can see both Kirk or Smith, either one of them, having a huge impact on who wins this series either way.
All right, now that we've broken down the games, let's get to what really matters here and who's going to actually win the World Series. Jim Bowden, here we are just hours away from first pitch for Game 1. Where are you leaning in the series?
Los Angeles Dodgers are going to win this series. You know, my only question is, will it be in 5 or 6 games? That's going to be the big question. Can they get it done in Los Angeles at Game 5? Or will Toronto be able to force a Game 6 and bring it back to Toronto? Dodgers have a better team. They just do. They're deeper, they're stronger, and as long as they play up to capabilities and their ace starters do what they did in the last series against Milwaukee, I have a hard time envisioning Toronto winning the series. But let me say this. For all those people that want to talk about this being David and Goliath, it's not. The only David part is David Roberts' name, which is David. Goliath is what the Dodgers are. They are Goliath in this sport. They will win back-to-back world championships here. But don't call Toronto David either. They had the best record in the American League, elite defensive team, a deep bullpen. They're going to give them a run for the money. But let's be very clear. If the best team wins, the Dodgers will be celebrating once again on Wilshire Boulevard.
You know, and Dave Roberts gave the Blue Jays credit to your credit. Say, hey, you come out of the AL East, you probably shouldn't be called David either, because that is a tough division. All right, we kind of figured the Dodgers would be here. We'll see if there's an upset brewing, but Jim's going with the Dodgers. We'll see how it all shakes out. Thanks so much, Jim. Again, the World Series starting tonight. Game 1 in Toronto, 8 o'clock. Game 2 also in Toronto. We got the 2-3-2 format in this series. Games 3, 4, and 5, of course, if necessary, throughout the rest of the week, heading out to Los Angeles.